passion faded. He carried you out of the bathroom. You were exhausted and weak, but overwhelming possessiveness radiated from him as he held you tight, coaxing you to sleep. When morning came, your body ached terribly. You tried to hide in the living room, but he found you. The moment he spotted you, he trapped you on the sofa. With intimate teasing and playful banter, he asserted his dominance, leaving you flushed with embarrassment. Just when the tension reached its peak, he suddenly stopped. He turned away to make breakfast, leaving you alone on the sofa to savor the lingering sensations. He lifted you out of the cooling bathtub, water droplets rolling down your entangled bodies. Your body went limp against him, your head resting helplessly on his sweaty shoulder. Only your shallow breathing proved you were still conscious. He didn't speak. He grabbed a large bath towel from the side, wrapped you up completely, and started drying you off haphazardly. His movements weren't gentle, even impatient and rough with the lingering passion, but when he reached the deep red marks on your neck and collarbone where he had sucked and bitten, his fingers paused. His fingertips pressed down on that glaring red mark, a bit heavily. You couldn't help but hiss and shrink your neck back. He pulled his hand back as if burned, a suppressed growl rumbling in his throat, sounding like annoyance yet also dissatisfaction. He held you tighter, his wet chest pressing flush against your equally damp back. His chin rested on the top of your head, his hot breath blowing against your hair. Damn it, he cursed, low, his voice incredibly hoarse. It was unclear if he was cursing himself or this damn feeling of losing control. He carried you to bed. The sheets were fresh, carrying the faint scent of laundry detergent mixed with the residual bathroom steam on him. He didn't cover you immediately. Instead, he leaned over, his calloused fingertips tracing the marks on your neck again, then moving down, brushing over your heaving chest, sliding to your flat, tense stomach, and finally stopping on the skin there that was equally flushed and slightly swollen. His touch was direct, carrying an inspection and a kind of unmasked possession. You felt uneasy all over under his gaze, your skin heating up and your toes curling. "Hurts?" he asked suddenly, his fingers pressing lightly on that redness. You bit your lip and shook your head, your voice muffled. "It's okay." He hummed, not making it clear if he believed you or not. Finally, he pulled the duvet over you, leaving only your head exposed. Then he turned and went back into the bathroom. Soon, the sound of rushing water came. He was cleaning up the battlefield. When he returned wrapped in steam, wearing only a towel around his waist, you were staring blankly at the ceiling. Physical exhaustion and a strange sensation kept you from moving. He walked over, didn't get into bed, but sat on the edge. The mattress sank under his weight. He didn't look at you, just reached out and turned off the light. Darkness instantly enveloped the room, with only a faint light from the window. You felt his hand reach under the covers, fumble to find your hand, and then grip it tight. His palm was large and hot, his knuckles forcing their way between your fingers in an almost domineering interlocking. Your heartbeat lost its rhythm again. In the dark, his voice sounded right by your ear, hot breath spraying against your sensitive ear. "Sleep." You closed your eyes, feeling his other hand slip in as well, wrapping around your waist and pulling you into his embrace. You obediently turned sideways, your back pressing against his scorching, solid chest. One of his legs forcefully wedged between yours, his ankle hooking your calf, locking you completely within his temperature and scent. Skin pressed against skin over a large area without barrier, you could clearly feel the restless outline under the towel at his waist. He didn't speak anymore, just tightened his arms, letting you sink deeper into him. His chin rested on your head, his heavy breathing gradually steadying. A silent intimacy flowed in the darkness, making your heart beat faster than the intensity from just before. It was just barely dawn when you woke up. Your body felt like it had been taken apart and reassembled, incredibly sore, and a certain place was throbbing with a secret swelling pain. Looking down, his arm was still clamped tight around your waist, and his legs were possessively tangled with yours. You tried carefully to pry his hand open, attempting a few times, but he didn't budge an inch. He slept soundly, his brows relaxed, breathing even, completely lacking the fierceness from last night. You lay there a bit longer, but you really needed to go. You used some strength and finally moved his heavy arm a little, inching your way out of his embrace like a worm. Just as you got half your body out, his arm immediately tightened again. He buried his face in your neck, nuzzled it, mumbled something unintelligible, and held you even tighter. "I need to go to the bathroom," you whispered, pushing him. He didn't move, as if dead to the world. You pushed harder. I really can't hold it anymore." This time he finally reacted, grunting in his throat, and the strength in his arm loosened a bit. You seized the chance and scrambled out of his arms completely. As soon as your feet hit the floor, your legs went soft, and you almost fell to your knees. Holding the bed edge to steady yourself, enduring the strange sensation in your body, you grabbed the large t-shirt he threw on the chair back last night and pulled it on. The hem just barely covered the top of your thighs. Barefoot, you tiptoed out of the bedroom. After taking care of business, standing before the bright bathroom mirror, you finally saw your current, disheveled state. On your neck, collarbone, and even your chest, it was covered in hickeys and fingerprints of varying shades, as if stamped all over with his seal. Your cheeks instantly burned. You splashed cold water on your face, trying to cool down. Walking to the living room, the slightly cool morning air made you shiver. You curled up on the sofa, hugging your knees, trying to sort through the confusion from last night until now. The physical sensations were still vivid: his temperature, his strength, his growls when he lost control surging up in waves. You felt a bit dazed, a bit embarrassed, even a bit of an indescribable aftertaste. Just as you were spacing out, the bedroom door opened. You subconsciously looked up and saw his tall figure at the door. He was only wearing the towel from last night, tied loosely around his hips, revealing his well-defined chest and abs. There were a few fresh scratches on them, your handiwork. His hair was messy, but his eyes were sharp as a hawk's, staring straight at you curled up on the sofa. That look instantly reminded you of the feeling of being pinned under him last night, unable to move, your body stiffened, as if nailed down. His expression was blank. Barefoot, he walked towards you step by step, the wooden floor emitting dull thuds. Every step felt like it was stomping on your taut nerves. He stopped in front of the sofa, his tall body blocking the light and casting a shadow over you. He didn't speak, just leaned down, planting his hands on the back of the sofa on either side of you, looking down at you. The distance closed instantly. You could smell the scent of just waking up on him, mixed with the lingering, ambiguous scent belonging to both of you from last night. Your breath hitched, and your heart beat like a drum. His gaze felt like it had physical heat as it swept over the marks on your neck, the collarbone exposed by your t-shirt neckline, and finally settled on your lips, which were slightly parted from nervousness. "Hiding here?" he spoke, his voice carrying that unique morning low and rasp, hinting at a laziness and danger hard to detect. Trapped in the small space by him with nowhere to hide, you had to brace yourself, not hiding. "Just woke up, getting some air." He let out a low laugh. It was low, carrying a bit of mockery, but more of an understanding that saw through everything. He freed a hand, reached under the hem of your loose t-shirt, and his warm, rough palm pressed directly against the smooth, cool outside of your thigh, then slowly stroked upwards. You shivered all over and subconsciously clamped your legs together, but he forcefully pried them open with his knee. "Getting air?" His fingers had already slid to the sensitive skin on the inside of your upper thigh, which was still slightly swollen. His fingertips pressed down there, not too lightly or heavily, carrying an obvious suggestion. "Here." His voice dropped lower, almost against your earlobe. "Can it still breathe?" You gasped, your body instantly tensing up as a sore and numb sensation shot through you. You bit your lip and turned your face away, not wanting to look at his aggressive and possessive eyes right now. "Speak." He pinched your chin, forcing you to turn back and look at him. "You were quite vocal last night, weren't you?" Shame exploded instantly and you struggled to free your hand from his. "Let go of me!" "No," he answered decisively, his gaze darkening. "You were the one who started it last night." He lowered his head, his nose almost brushing against yours, his scorching breath tangling with yours. "In the bathroom. When you looked at me, I knew you wanted it. Having your thoughts exposed made your face burn hot, but your mouth remained stubborn. I didn't." "Didn't?" His hand causing trouble between your legs suddenly used force and pinched. "Then what is this?" His thumb maliciously pressed onto a core that was swollen like a bud. "Ah!" You screamed, your body arching up as if electrified. Your legs reflexively tried to close, but he held them apart with his knees. "Shh!" His other hand covered your mouth, his body pressed close, his chest muscles crushing against you, confining you completely to the corner of the sofa. He leaned close to your ear, his low voice carrying a punitive tone. "Keep being stubborn, and I'll make you think hard again about how you cried and begged me last night." His threat struck you like lightning, and a familiar sore, Wet heat uncontrollably rose from deep within your body. You knew he wasn't joking. The hand covering your mouth released, only to grab your wrist and press it above your head. His kiss fell not the wild storm from last night, but a teasing and provocative nibbling, lingering from your earlobe to the sensitive spot on your neck, and finally stopping on the clear bite mark on your collarbone, licking it maliciously with his tongue. You couldn't help but whimper. Your body surrendered under his suppression and teasing, going soft in waves. Just when you were about to admit defeat, he suddenly released the hand holding you down and straightened up. He looked down at you lying limp on the sofa, cheeks flushed, chest heaving violently, looking thoroughly wretched. He curled the corner of his mouth. That smile was wicked yet satisfied. "Hungry?" he suddenly asked, his tone as casual as if talking about the weather. You were stunned by his sudden turn and looked at him blankly. He reached out and rubbed his knuckles against your burning cheek, his touch unexpectedly carrying a hint of tenderness. "Wait here." After saying that, he finally let you go and turned toward the kitchen. The towel around his waist swayed with his steps, revealing his firm, tight glutes and the smooth lines of his back muscles. Those ambiguous scratches were especially clear in the morning light. You lay limp in the sofa, watching his broad back. The soreness in your body and that indescribable flutter in your heart refused to settle for a long time.